Donald Trump has invited the very person that was implicated in the mass murder and genocidal acts across Gaza. Of course, I'm talking about Benjamin Netanyahu. Despite an ICC warrant seeking his arrest for war crimes in Gaza, will add to various concerns over the objectivity of the board of this peace, and how it will understand the Palestinian statehood is a matter of question. I want to begin with Norman Floyd Barnes. I know that yesterday we were talking about this very issue on how the Moroccan king as well as the Kremlin was invited to join this board of peace, and now we have the very person who started this genocide being a part of this board of peace. How do you see this? This is definitely a different rhetoric, different type of occupation, if you would call it. I want to understand more from Norman Floyd Barnes.
Greetings this morning from Washington. Yes, it appears that the Israeli prime minister, who on a world scale is considered a war criminal, has been invited and has accepted a seat on the Gaza Board of Peace. Such a contradiction. It appears that he will now be an integral part. We don't know if he's going to be a permanent member, which has a fee of $1 billion, $1 billion US dollars to join on a permanent basis. But right now, he's a member of the newly created Board of Peace. I have nothing to say. I don't know what will follow. I'm just waiting to see exactly how the world is going to respond to this.
Israeli forces and far-right nationalist Security Minister Ben-Gvir yesterday stormed and ransacked the closed headquarters of the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees in East Jerusalem. Of course, witnesses added that the Israeli forces also raised the Israeli flag over the compound, replacing the UN flag. So this is the latest as I have as of yesterday. I want to come to Norman Floyd Barnes. As I was reading the news, there is tensions regarding even the UN, the United Nations headquarters that I have just read out. And of course, as Professor Rashid Alam was saying, that this is highly contradictory to the initial plan of the Board of Peace, and which of course made sure that people were optimistic regarding the rebuilding of Gaza. Also, the Palestinians were looking forward to a different scope this very year. However, right now with the including of Benjamin Netanyahu in this board, it really does question what is the end goal of this entire plan. I want to know more from Norman Floyd Barnes.
Yes, through the construction of this board, it appears that there's a plan, and the plan is basically to reorganize Palestine, that region, and involve the Israelis, particularly the prime minister, and his goal to ensure that the Palestinian government, the people of Palestine, would never have an opportunity to basically self-govern. So by putting this board together, by having the Americans, by having other countries come in, it gives a strong indication that there's a plan, and the plan is not geared towards the Palestinian people, a self-governing environment, more of a colony again of the Western world and the environment. It appears to be another transactional situation, deal with business, and the business is not with the Palestinian, it's global business, and how they can reorganize and create a new, I guess, trade and commerce hub in that region. So we have to wait and see, but I'm not very optimistic about the peace part of this board. It's more about the profit part of the board. Thank you.
We know that Turkey is a global player, is of course someone who cannot be ignored when talking about issues in the Middle East. Of course, Turkey is also the crossroads of the world. Historically, it combines Asian with Europe. So that is a place that is of high concern. Of course, the leaders also exchanged views on the fight against IS, which is, of course, ISIS, the Daesh, the situation of IS members in Syrian prisons. So, of course, this is a faction war, if I would call it, of course, infighting between the two rebel groups.
Right.
So, I want to understand, do you think that there would be an exchange where this ceasefire could be extended to the rest of the year?
Thank you for that very question. But the the positive part of this is that they have agreed to a 4-day ceasefire. Hopefully, during this time, they'll take the opportunity to talk. The issue is that we're not communicating. People are not communicating their issues, their concerns, what they think. They're resorting to violence. Violence is never the answer, never will be the solution. So hopefully someone will get there and talk. Let's communicate exactly how can we comfortably coexist without this conflict. There must be a solution because if you can come to a agreement to provide a ceasefire, a pause, you can also come to agreement on how you can end this thing.
How Emmanuel Macron's speech was very important, how it all connects to the fact of annexation of Greenland. And of course, Donald Trump had a hiccup before leaving the mainland United States for Davos, as Air Force One had an electrical failure. However, he is on his way to Davos and he will be delivering his speech there. He is set to meet with retaliation regarding Greenland. All of these venues, I want to know more. I want to have an analysis from Norman Floyd Barnes.
Thank you for the opportunity give my analysis. Yes, as you speak, the president and um, his administration will meet with the world leaders in Davos at the World Economic Forum. As we uh, talk about this, President Trump has an agenda, and he's going to talk about that agenda during the speech this evening. He will be approximately 3 hours late because of the changing of the planes and the issue with the transportation. So he will be late coming there, but the entire forum is waiting and anticipating his arrival. They want to hear what he has to say. The response so far is that we don't understand what you're doing, why you're doing this, and why are you trying to penalize the world for things that you obviously don't understand. Apparently, the issue of Greenland is pushing the entire European Union and NATO to the point of relationship issues with the United States. Either way, how this thing comes out, the relationship with the United States and the EU will be affected. Some people say it may be fractured. It tells people that the United States do not look out, well, the United States is looking out for its own welfare, its own being, and at the cost of fracturing and maybe ending relationships with previous allies. So right now, they're waiting to see what he has to say. Greenland is against it. Uh, most of the EU is against it. Very few supporters. Even the contention coming, the business leaders coming from the United States, has their concerns about how this thing going to work and how does it fit in terms of the advancement of the American way and how this will benefit the people. Right now, there's no, they can't see the benefits. There's rumors out there that there's a cash plan, a deal is being proposed that will also give money to the people in Greenland and also to the Danish government for the purchase of this. But right now, everything appears that President Trump is hell-bent on getting and purchasing and acquiring and annexing Greenland into the United States.
Before abducting Venezuela's leader, there was an issue of narco trafficking into the United States. Today, the Venezuelan leader is no longer there, but there is no news regarding this
Yeah.
narco trafficking issue.
Yes, yes.
So, given this case, there is no issues regarding Greenland, however. But do you think that what would be the means of settling this dispute over Greenland? And of course, NATO is also involved. I want a closing statement from Norman Floyd Burns.
Well, it appears that just like the Venezuela, we went into Venezuela on the issue of crime and drug. Uh, Incidentally, now you notice that the drug issue has stopped. There's no more issue with the drugs. There's some agreement been made with the current administration there,
Right,
and we're moving towards Greenland, and now we're looking at Greenland as basically the United States wants to purchase your land. They want to annex your land as part of the United States, and we want to use the reason is that national security. So right now, the president is making agreements and plans together to offer a deal to the Danish government and also to the people of Greenland that we are now coming in. We want to annex your country because of area of national security, eminent domain, term we use for the purpose of our own national security. And we willing to pay you for this. If you don't want the money, that's fine. But we are still going to be here, and we will hopefully have you as a willful and a grateful participant in our process. But we are hell bent on acquiring Greenland, and it's going to be done, stated by the Trump administration. It's going to be done with your will or you without your will. So we're coming in and we dare anyone to try to stop what we're doing. So right now we are looking at how this thing's going to play out, if it's possible. Uh, yes, it will be initiation of it, but how long is this going to be a sustainable venture? We don't know. We know we have in the past we have a situation where the Trump administration have initiated things here in the United States that has not been we call quite legal or righteous in terms of the participants, and they had to reverse it. So right now, it appears that the Trump administration is
right.
ready to engage in the acquisition of this land. Whether or not it will hold up, whether or not
Right.
it will be sustainable is questioned. But right now, the intent is to go into Greenland, whether they like it or not.